There's someone in your life who really gets you. They understand your pain, your fears, your deepest insecurities. They know exactly what to say when you're vulnerable. They seem almost too good at it. Because they are. What if I told you there's a personality type that combines the warmth of empathy with the cold strategy of Machiavelli himself? They don't just lack a conscience, they have something worse. They have your emotional blueprint, and they know exactly how to use it. Welcome to Mendros. Today we're diving into the psychology of the Machiavellian Dark Empath, the most dangerous personality type you've probably never heard of. They're not the obvious villains. They're the ones you trust, the ones you confide in, the ones who've mastered what Machiavelli taught 5 centuries ago, that appearing virtuous is more powerful than being virtuous. Let's explore the mind that feels nothing, while understanding everything. To understand the Dark Empath, we need to go back 5 centuries to the man whose name became synonymous with manipulation itself, Niccolò Machiavelli, born 1469, Florence, Italy. He wasn't a villain. He was a diplomat who lived through chaos, wars, betrayals, political executions, the constant rise and fall of corrupt leaders. In 1513, after being tortured and exiled, Machiavelli wrote The Prince. It wasn't an evil manifesto. It was a brutally honest manual about how power actually works. He observed that successful leaders often ignored traditional morality, that appearing virtuous was more useful than being virtuous, that the ends could justify ruthless means. He wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." From his observations came a philosophy: strategic manipulation, emotional detachment, results over relationships. His name became an adjective, Machiavellian. For centuries, psychologists studied what they called the dark triad, 3 personality traits that cluster in the most manipulative people. Machiavellianism, strategic, manipulative, ends justify the means. Narcissism, grandiose, entitled, craving admiration. Psychopathy, impulsive, callous, lacking fear and remorse. The common belief: these people lack empathy. They're emotionally blind, cold, detached. But in 2021, researchers at Nottingham Trent University discovered something that changed everything. They analysed 991 participants, measuring both dark triad traits and empathy levels. And they found something that shouldn't exist: a group of people who scored high on all 3 dark traits, and also scored high on empathy. They called them Dark Empaths. In their study, about 20% of participants fell into this category. Think about that. 1 in 5 people in this research with dark personality traits didn't lack empathy. They weaponized it. While this doesn't mean 1 in 5 people overall are dark empaths, it reveals something crucial. This personality type exists, and it's more common than we thought. This is Machiavelli's philosophy, evolved, perfected. The prince described how to manipulate from a position of power. The dark empath does it from a position of intimacy. So why is the dark empath considered the most dangerous personality type? To understand, we need to break down the 2 types of empathy. Cognitive empathy, understanding what someone else is thinking and feeling. Reading the room, predicting behavior. Affective empathy, actually feeling what someone else feels. Shared pain, genuine compassion. Most people have both. Traditional psychopaths have neither. They're cold, detached, easy to spot. Narcissists have some cognitive empathy, but it's all filtered through their ego. But dark empaths, they have elite-level cognitive empathy, combined with Machiavellian strategy, narcissistic charm, and psychopathic ruthlessness. This is why they're the most dangerous. They understand your pain perfectly. They just don't care. And that understanding becomes their greatest weapon. A traditional manipulator is like a sledgehammer. Crude, obvious, leaving damage you can see. A dark empath is a scalpel, precise, surgical, leaving you questioning whether you're even bleeding. Here's what makes them unstoppable. They read micro-expressions you don't know you're making. They pick up on vocal patterns that reveal your emotional state. They notice what you're not saying louder than what you are. Before you mention your work stress, they already know. Before you realize your relationship is struggling, they've mapped it. They understand your attachment style, your childhood wounds, your deepest insecurities. Not because they care, because it gives them leverage. And here's the truly terrifying part. This isn't deliberate analysis. It's automatic. They've spent their entire lives studying humans the way you breathe, unconsciously, constantly, perfectly. To them, people are systems to decode, puzzles to solve, resources to extract. The traditional dark triad person is obvious, overtly selfish, aggressive. You can protect yourself. But the dark empath appears charming, warm, caring, helpful. They don't look dangerous. That's exactly why they are. Now let's get specific. How do dark empaths disguise themselves so perfectly? Disguise number 1, the perfect mirror. They become whoever you need them to be. Example, you're anxious and need reassurance. They're calm and grounding. You're ambitious and competitive. Suddenly they're driven and respect strength. You value deep conversation. They share philosophical insights. You need fun and lightness. They become spontaneous and carefree. But here's the tell. They shift too smoothly. A real person has friction, edges, days where they're off. The dark empath is always exactly what you need, when you need it. It's not authentic adaptation, it's strategic performance. Disguise number 2, the wounded healer. They share trauma to create instant intimacy. Example, early in the relationship, they open up about their difficult childhood, their toxic ex, their struggles with trust. It feels brave, vulnerable, real. You think, wow, they really get it. They've been through it too. But notice, their vulnerability is perfectly timed. It's never inconvenient, never messy, never needy. It's a calculated deposit, emotional currency they're investing, so they can withdraw later with interest. Real vulnerability is awkward, uncertain, risky. Theirs is polished, practiced, strategic. Machiavelli wrote that a prince must learn to appear merciful, faithful, humane, and sincere, while being ready to act the opposite when necessary. The dark empath has mastered this art in the realm of emotion. Disguise number 3, the helper who never needs help. They're always available to support you, always listening, always offering solutions, but they never truly need you. Example, they're your therapist friend, your career mentor, your relationship advisor. You share everything. They share curated pieces. You think you're close. But when you really examine it, do you actually know them? Their needs, their fears, their real struggles? Because they don't position themselves as people. They position themselves as resources. And resources don't have needs. They just provide. This creates an invisible power imbalance. You're always in their debt. Disguise number 4, the reputation manager. They're beloved in public, respected, admired. Example, at work, they're the one everyone goes to. The mediator, the voice of reason. In your friend group, they're the glue, the planner, the one who keeps everyone together. Online, their presence is warm, thoughtful, inspiring. This public persona serves 2 purposes. First, it gives them access. People trust them with sensitive information, vulnerable moments, positions of influence. Second, it makes you look crazy if you ever speak up. Really? Them? They're the nicest person I know. Maybe you're the problem. They don't just manage their reputation, they manage yours, making sure if things go south, you're the unreliable narrator. Disguise number 5, the I'm working on myself loop. When you catch them in a pattern, they immediately acknowledge it. Example, you confront them about manipulation. They don't deny, they don't defend, They say, "You're right. I see that pattern. I'm in therapy for this. I'm really trying to change. Thank you for calling me out." It's disarming. You think, wow, they're so self-aware, so committed to growth. But watch what happens next. Nothing changes. The pattern continues. Maybe more subtly, maybe with longer gaps, but it continues. The self-awareness is just another tool. They've learned that appearing to work on themselves buys them more time, more chances, more access. Real change is uncomfortable, slow, filled with setbacks. Their change is a performance designed to keep you engaged. Now let's break down exactly how they manipulate and control, with specific real-world examples. Manipulation tactic. Number 1. Empathic gaslighting. They don't just deny your reality, they do it while appearing to care about your well-being. Example, you say, "You promised to help me move, then cancelled last minute." They respond, "I understand why you'd feel let down, but I told you I might not be able to make it. I think the stress you're under is affecting your memory. I'm worried about you." Notice the layers. They validate your feelings while denying the facts. They reframe your accurate memory as a symptom of your dysfunction. They position themselves as the concerned helper. You end the conversation doubting yourself and feeling cared for. That's the genius of it. Manipulation tactic number 2. Surveillance disguised as intimacy. They ask deep questions, encourage you to open up, create space for vulnerability. But they're not connecting, they're collecting data. Example, in a new relationship, they ask about your past. "Tell me about your family. What was your childhood like? What hurt you in previous relationships?" It feels like emotional intimacy, like they really want to know you. But watch what they do with that information. 6 months later, during an argument, they say, "I know you have abandonment issues from your dad leaving, so you're overreacting right now." They've turned your vulnerability into a weapon. Your trauma becomes evidence that you're the problem. Manipulation tactic. Number 3. Strategic triangulation. They create confusion and conflict between people while positioning themselves as the only stable point. Example, they tell you, "I'm concerned about Jessica. She's been saying things about you behind your back. I defended you, but I thought you should know." Then they tell Jessica, "I'm worried about you. I think your name is spreading rumors. I'm staying neutral, but watch yourself." Both of you now distrust each other and rely on them for the truth. They've isolated you from each other while strengthening their position with both of you. Classic divide and conquer with a compassionate face. Manipulation tactic. Number 4. Conditional empathy. Their warmth is transactional. It has terms and conditions. Example, when you're agreeable, supportive, making their life easier, they're incredible, attentive, understanding, available, generous. But the moment you set a boundary, express a need, or challenge them, the empathy vanishes. "I can't believe you're being so selfish after everything I've done for you. I thought you were different, but you're just like everyone else." Suddenly you're the problem. You're too demanding. You're ungrateful. The message is clear. My care for you is dependent on your usefulness to me. This is how they control, through intermittent reinforcement. You're always trying to get back to that initial warmth, that connection you felt. But it was never unconditional. It was a reward for compliance. Manipulation tactic. Number 5. The empathic hoover. When you try to distance yourself, they deploy surgical precision to pull you back. Example, you've decided to create space. You're pulling away. They sense it immediately. They send a message. "I had a dream about you last night. I know we've had tension, but I need you to know how much you mean to me. You're one of the few people who really sees me. I'm sorry for whatever I did. Can we talk?" They've hit every button. Nostalgia, uniqueness, vulnerability, apology. It's not genuine, it's calculated. They know exactly which wounds to touch, which memories to invoke, and it works, because part of what they're saying feels true. That's the hook. Control tactic number 1. Isolation through protection. They don't overtly demand you cut people off. That's too obvious. Instead, they express concern about your relationships. Example, I don't want to overstep, but I'm worried about how much time you spend with Mike. He seems to bring out your anxiety. I just want you to be happy. Or, your family is so critical of you. I hate seeing how drained you are after visiting them. You deserve better. It sounds caring, protective, but slowly your support system shrinks. And who's left? Them. The only person who really understands you. The only safe space. That's not love, that's dependence. And dependence is control. Machiavelli advised that it's safer to be feared than loved, because love is fickle. People abandon you when times get hard. The Dark Empath understands this. They make you dependent, so you can't abandon them. Control tactic number 2. Manufacturing crises. They create emergencies, emotional, logistical, relational, that require your involvement. Example, right when you're establishing independence, they have a breakdown, a crisis, a desperate need. I don't know what to do. You're the only one who gets it. Your compassion is weaponized against you. You can't leave during a crisis. That would make you a bad person. But here's the pattern. The crises are always perfectly timed. Always when you're creating distance. Always requiring your specific intervention. Real crises are random. Theirs are strategic. Control tactic number 3. Rewriting history. They subtly alter the narrative over time until you can't trust your own memory. Example, they cancel plans repeatedly. You bring it up. They say, I only cancelled that one time and I was sick. You're making it seem like I'm always flaking. That's not fair to me. But you know it was multiple times. You remember. Yet they're so confident, so specific, that you start to doubt. Maybe I am exaggerating. Maybe I'm being too sensitive. This is how they maintain control, by making you distrust the one tool you have to hold them accountable, your own memory. Now, how do you recognize a dark empath in your life? Because they're master disguisers. You need concrete patterns to spot them. Warning sign number 1. The empathy feels scripted. Pay attention to how they show empathy. Real empathy is imperfect. Sometimes it misses the mark. Sometimes it says the wrong thing. Dark empath empathy is too smooth, too practiced. Example, you share something vulnerable. A real friend might fumble. Oh man, I don't even know what to say. That's really hard. I'm here for you though. A dark empath responds, I hear you. That must make you feel exact emotion. It makes sense because of your history. Here's what I think would help. It's technically perfect, but emotionally hollow. Like they're running a script called How to Respond to Vulnerability. Warning sign number 2. You can't pinpoint what's wrong. With obvious manipulators, you can name the problem. With dark empaths, you just feel off. You feel understood but not truly seen. You feel cared for but not genuinely loved. You feel close but somehow alone. Your nervous system is picking up what your conscious mind can't name. That persistent unease. That's not paranoia. That's perception. Trust it. Warning sign number 3. They know things they shouldn't. They reference details you don't remember sharing. They predict your reactions with eerie accuracy. They bring up old wounds at suspiciously convenient times. Example, you're in an argument. Out of nowhere, they say, I know this is really about your need for control, which stems from your childhood chaos. That's why you're overreacting. Wait, when did you tell them that? You mentioned your childhood once, months ago in passing. They've catalogued it, analysed it, weaponized it. Warning sign number 4. Boundary violations are met with guilt. This is the clearest tell. Example, you say, I need some space this weekend. A healthy person. Okay, no problem. Let me know when you're ready to connect. A dark empath. Oh, okay. I just thought we were closer than that. I guess I misread things. I hope you're okay. Notice, they didn't respect the boundary. They made you responsible for their feelings about your boundary. Now you're managing their emotions, about your own needs. That's control, not care. Warning sign number 5. Your other relationships are problematic. They're concerned about your family, worried about your best friend, skeptical of your therapist, questioning your colleagues. One by one, everyone else becomes toxic, draining, not good for you, except them. They're the only safe one, the only one who truly gets you. If someone positions themselves as your only trustworthy connection, they're not protecting you. They're isolating you. Warning sign number 6, the calm in the chaos. Everyone's emotionally activated. There's tension, confusion, hurt. And they're serene, observing, almost amused, because chaos is where they thrive. While everyone else is reacting, they're calculating. Real empathy gets activated by other people's pain. It creates discomfort, urgency, distress. Their empathy stays perfectly controlled because it's not rooted in feeling, it's rooted in strategy. The ultimate test. Start setting boundaries, stop oversharing, create emotional distance, watch what happens. A healthy person adjusts, respects your autonomy, maybe feels disappointed but doesn't punish you. A dark empath escalates. They become more attentive, love-bombing, more wounded, guilt-tripping, more desperate, manufactured crises. Or they discard you completely because you're no longer useful. Your boundaries reveal their true intentions. Now, the uncomfortable question. Could you be a Machiavellian dark empath? Before you dismiss it, most would. Part of the profile is a lack of self-awareness, an inability to see the pattern. But if you're genuinely asking the question, here's how to check. Do you understand people's emotions intellectually, but struggle to feel moved by them? Do you use your understanding of psychology to get what you want? Do you find yourself adjusting your personality to match whoever you're with, not authentically, but strategically? Do you get bored easily in relationships once you've figured someone out? Do you view emotional connection as a tool rather than a need? Machiavelli himself wasn't advocating cruelty for cruelty's sake. He was describing what he observed, that in a corrupt world, pure virtue often leads to ruin. He asked, should you play by noble rules when everyone else is lying? Here's the thing about dark traits. We all have them to some degree. The difference is awareness and choice. A dark empath operates on autopilot, manipulating without consciousness, justifying without reflection. If you're recognizing these patterns in yourself, that awareness is actually a good sign. It means you have the capacity to change, to choose authentic connection over strategic performance, to develop effective empathy alongside the cognitive kind you've mastered. Shadow work isn't about shame, it's about integration. Acknowledging the manipulator within doesn't make you evil, denying them does. Machiavelli observed human nature clearly. The question is, what do you do with that knowledge? Do you use it to control or to connect more honestly? So you've recognized a Machiavellian dark empath in your life. Now what? How do you actually protect yourself? Machiavelli wrote, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves." You need both. The intelligence to see manipulation coming, and the strength to protect your boundaries. Here are specific, actionable strategies. Protection strategy. Number 1. Create an emotional information diet. Stop feeding them data about yourself. This doesn't mean shut down completely. It means become selective. Share surface-level information. Redirect personal questions. How was your weekend? Good, thanks. How was yours? Tell me about your family. They're fine. Nothing dramatic. Hey, did you see that article about... The less they know, the less they can weaponize. If they push, I'm more private than I used to be. Nothing personal. You don't owe explanations. Protection strategy number 2. Document everything. Your memory is your most important defense, and they will attack it. Keep a private record. Dates, conversations, promises, patterns. Not to prove anything to them, they'll deny regardless. But for you, so when they gaslight, you have evidence. Example, they cancel plans again. You check your notes. This is the 4th time in 6 weeks. When they say, this is the first time, you know that's false. You don't have to show them. You just need to trust yourself. Protection strategy number 3. Grey rock method. Become boring, uninteresting, emotionally flat. Give minimal responses. Show no emotional reaction. Provide no new information. How are you? Fine. What's going on with you? Not much. Are you upset? No, just tired. Dark empaths feed on emotional reaction. They study your responses. If you give them nothing, you become unprofitable. They'll likely move on to someone more engaging. This isn't about being cold with everyone, just with them. Save your authentic self for safe people. Protection strategy number 4. Implement delayed responses. They thrive on immediate reactions. So, delay. When they ask something emotionally loaded, say, let me think about that. I need some time to process. I'll get back to you. This does several things. Disrupts their script. They've planned for your immediate emotional response. Gives you space to think clearly without their presence influencing you. Reveals their impatience. If they escalate because you need time, that's a red flag. Protection strategy number 5. Name the pattern when safe. Sometimes simply naming what's happening disrupts the manipulation. I notice that when I set boundaries, I end up apologizing. I'm working on that pattern. It feels like my emotions are being used as evidence that I'm unstable. I don't agree with that framing. I'm not going to defend my memory. I know what happened. Use I statements. Stay calm. Don't escalate. You're not trying to change their mind. You're asserting your reality. Protection strategy number 6. Build external support. Their power comes from isolation. Counter it with connection. Talk to a therapist who understands manipulative dynamics. Reconnect with friends and family they've encouraged you to distance from. Join communities where you can reality check your experiences. You need outside perspectives. People who know you, who can say, that's not normal. That's not okay. You're not overreacting. Protection strategy number 7. Plan your exit. If this is a relationship you can leave, plan carefully. Dark empaths often escalate when they sense you're leaving. Love bombing, promises to change, manufactured crises, smear campaigns, steps for a safe exit. 1. Secure your resources, financial, logistical, emotional. 2. Build your support network quietly. 3. Don't announce your intentions. Reduce contact gradually if possible. 4. When you leave, be clear and final. No explanations, no justifications. 5. Expect an extinction burst, a final intense attempt to pull you back. Stay strong. 6. Block, delete, create distance. No, staying friends. Protection strategy number 8. Don't try to expose them. This is critical. Do not try to warn everyone about them. They have spent years building their reputation. Their public persona is bulletproof. If you try to expose them, you will look unstable, vindictive, jealous. They will use your campaign against them as evidence that you're the problem. Instead, quietly protect yourself. Exit with dignity. Let their pattern reveal itself to others naturally. The people who need to know will eventually see it themselves. Your job is not to save everyone. Your job is to save you. Final principle: out integrity. Don't out manipulate. The temptation is to beat them at their own game, to manipulate back, to gaslight them, to weaponize their tactics against them. Don't. Not because they don't deserve it, but because it will cost you. Machiavelli described how power works. He didn't say you must use those tactics. He said, understand them. Understanding manipulation protects you. Becoming the manipulator destroys you. The goal isn't to win. The goal is to remain yourself while protecting your peace. Awareness is your shield. Boundaries are your armor. Authenticity is your freedom. You can't change them, but you can absolutely protect yourself. The most dangerous people aren't the ones who admit they're dangerous. They're the ones who convince you they're safe. Wisdom is knowing when to be the fox and when to be the lion. If this resonated, leave a like. Subscribe to Mind Dross. Share your experiences carefully in the comments below. Until next time, explore the mind, transform your life.